Hello, and welcome to a new series of videos that I've come up with. Something that I've noticed is that with quite a few franchises, people are confused as to when they should watch a series, in what order, and why they must follow that order to get the full experience. There are so many prequels, sequels, renditions, OVA series, spin-offs, and remakes to keep track of. And I'm here to tell you what you should watch and when you should watch it. Remember that this is only my recommendation. Some people will tell you otherwise, and if you have a different opinion, please share it in the comments section. Also, keep in mind that this series is only about shows that I've seen and have extensive knowledge of. So that means no Gundam. Sorry, that's just how it is. Today's topic will be the Fate franchise, as the entire thing has been confusing a lot of people as of late, especially with the new Fate Stay Night anime airing right now. I'm here to guide you through the franchise, so let's begin. The amount of anime and other media in this franchise is immense. You've got the original visual novel, which in itself has 3 story routes: Fate, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel. Then you've got a sequel game called Fate Hollow-Orexia, probably pronounced that incorrectly, and multiple spin-offs that I don't care to remember. As for anime, there's Fate Stay Night 2006, the Unlimited Blade Works movie, Fate Zero, Fate Collide Liner Prisma Ilia, apologies for probably pronouncing that incorrectly, Fate Prototype, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, Carnival Phantasm, though technically that involves anything and everything in the Nasuverse, and a Heaven's Feel movie that will come out in 2015-ish? The 2 main studios that have been producing the Fate projects are Deen and Ufotable, with debates on which anime should be viewed regularly. I also know of at least 1 manga adaptation as well. For the sake of keeping this video relatively short, I will not be including any visual novel, manga, light novel, or anything that is not completely Fate in this discussion, as this video is mainly aimed towards anime watchers. So, Carnival Phantasm will not be included. However, it is important to note that you don't have to play the visual novel to understand the anime adaptations. Sure, it can help, but I believe that it isn't truly necessary, and it shouldn't be necessary. Now that the list is narrowed down to purely Fate anime, here are the options. Fate Prototype, a digest of the original version of Fate Stay Night that the author Nasu wanted to make, but instead decided to go with the version that we all know and love today. Only watch this if you were a Fate fan. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now, because if you don't, you will be horribly confused. Alright, with that out of the way, let's move on. There's Fate Stay Night 2006, which was produced by Studio Deen and based off of the Fate route. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works 2010, which was a movie also produced by Studio Deen and is based on the Unlimited Blade Works route. Fate Collide Liner Prisma Ilia, which is a magical girl parody produced by Silverlink and based off of a manga. Fate Zero, a prequel to all of the Fate Stay Night routes and was produced by Ufotable and based off of light novels written by Gen Urobuchi. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works 2014, a 2-core anime which is currently airing, produced by Ufotable and based off of the Unlimited Blade Works route. And finally, a Heaven's Feel movie which is based off of the Heaven's Feel route and will also be produced by Ufotable. Since the Heaven's Feel movie doesn't exist yet, and therefore I have no idea how good it is, it will also be left out of this discussion. I will also leave out the Ilia anime because I haven't seen it, but if you're a Fate fan and want to check it out, go for it, I suppose. Okay, now that we've finally got the anime completely narrowed down, how should you watch them and which anime are actually worth viewing? My belief is that if you want the best of the best, watch everything produced by Ufotable. In chronological order, that would be Fate Zero and then Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works 2014. They're both rather good in my opinion. Fate Zero is a visually pleasing epic with some great characters and a nice story, but it does have its problems with pacing and balancing exposition and character development, like with most Urobuchi anime, unfortunately. However, the good in Fate Zero is too good to ignore, and is worth at least a watch. Some might say that it spoils too much of Fate Stay Night to warrant a watch beforehand, but there are a lot of subtle touches in the 2014 rendition that most people will only pick up on if they've seen Fate Zero. Some might say that it spoils too much of Fate Stay Night to warrant a watch beforehand, But because of all the subtle touches in the 2014 rendition that people will only pick up on if they've seen Fate Zero, I believe it to be necessary. Speaking of, Fate Stay Night 2014 is a weird specimen that is both similar and different from Fate Zero. It's definitely not as mature, as the main characters are teenagers instead of adults, but so far the show is very exciting with mind-blowing action scenes. Episode 3 is one of the best episodes of anime that I've seen all year, which is saying something, with a perfect amount of intensity, gorgeous visuals, and wonderful music. The characters are also really likable, which may be because of my previous experiences with this franchise, but they're still good characters nonetheless. The only real complaint I have with this show so far is the romance, which is really weak, but it's got time to develop and it's not nearly enough to make me lose hope. Then you've got the Studio Deen adaptations, which I don't think are very good. Fate Stay Night 2006 isn't terrible, and it does have its moments of fun character interactions and pretty cool action scenes, especially considering this is Studio Deen we're talking about, but it never really achieved anything that I thought it was aiming for. Oh, and unlike 2014's version, 2006's main character Shiro is one of the most annoying anime characters in existence. I give him points for at least having a personality, but his actions are so far-fetched and irrational that it makes him look like a huge idiot at all times. The fact that he doesn't learn anything throughout the anime doesn't help his case whatsoever. Then there's the 2010 adaptation of the Limited Blade Works route. The movie is better than the previous anime adaptation, but I also wouldn't call it good. I know that it's unfair to compare the film to the vastly superior Ufotable adaptation, but you know it's bad when the two prologue episodes of 2014 are around the same length as this movie, which covers the entire story. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works 2010 is incredibly rushed and very confusing for someone who wants a good introduction to the franchise. It's a movie made for the fans and the fans only, and that's not a good thing when you can't watch something without any previous knowledge of the rules, characters, and story. It completely defeats the point of an adaptation. If you really want to watch these, I'd recommend watching them after at least viewing Fate Zero, which will give you all the information that you need. Well, I guess that's it. If you have any further questions or corrections, please leave your thoughts in the comments section and I will respond. Also, let me know what you think of this idea and whether you'd like me to continue this series. Until next time, this is HS Media Nerd, signing out.